lost once the past 3 months, and that was against MIBR, which was at the ECS finals season 6, I believe. So that's a long time ago. Otherwise, they've been clean sweeping it. They won 14 out of 15 Inferno matches. So for Renegades to win this one, they have not only to play the best brand of Counter-Strike we've seen, they have to exceed that and play even better.
It has to be the very best Counter-Strike Renegades have ever brought if they want to do what many consider impossible. A best of 3 versus Astralis at the major, no less. It's gone to 3. Renegades Astralis with Sean Gares and Trace.
Thank you very much, fellas. Yes, the deciding map being Inferno, and the Renegades have pushed this one to the edge. Now Astralis, being the powerhouse that they are going to have to get in here and set a precedence early on, which certainly they are trying to do that. Starting out on the CT side here in this third map of Inferno. Sean, we heard the desk talk about the statistics, the odds that are Astralis leading into the Inferno matchup. Now, if you were to tell me that Astralis can be beaten on this map, would you be lying?
They can be beaten. Na'Vi has proved that several times, actually. But it is very difficult.
And it should be very difficult. It is Astralis after all. Renegades here on the T side, just looking to get into this A bomb site. Trying to get a little bit of wrap control, but now finding that smoke to be quite an impossible wall to pass through. They have elected to go through it.
Rotator. They're making the correct call here. They're going to the B bomb site.
This is a pinch for B.
Zipex is going to have to deal with 5 players all by himself.
A great read here for Zipex in his first point of contact. He does not net any frags, does a considerable amount of damage, and actually that grenade does rain through Supreme there onto Azur. So now these 4 players of the Renegades are going to have to collect that bomb from construction that's planted. And, well, Device going for the peak there alongside of Dupree. And Device the first victim. Dupree trying his best to be the second. Taking a ton of damage, and the bomb's still not planted until now. 20 seconds left on the clock, completely fine. You're going to see Astralis now back away from this situation entirely. They're going to go ahead and try to get out of there with the armor that they have. And, well, first round going to the Renegades this early on.
And I will say, Renegades has had some of the most creative and innovative pistol rounds I have ever seen a team bring to the major, and this is another one. They have people jumping out of halls into lane and then going through an arch smoke into CT spawn. They're just running the gauntlet around the entire map. Astralis completely caught out of position there.
And that's not necessarily what you want to start off with if you're Astralis. Mind you, it is a slow start, but nonetheless, the Renegades have prevailed here.
Now, Trace, this is by no means a free round when you're playing against Astralis. They will certainly force up here. They'll have smokes across the entire map, and it is going to feel suffocating.
Well, it might be as suffocating as some of the weapons we're seeing come out right now, because Magisk has bought up the ump, Dupree with the shotgun. And, well, they're going to be trying to keep this round going. Look at the buy here, Sean.
And Renegades knows that Astralis is going to have a lot of smokes here, so they're going to have to work up and try to get map control as quick as possible to force these smokes out of Astralis' hands.
And right now, the contest of Banana does not exist. Astralis is not going to be there to reply, but Gratisfaction will have used that Molotov there to kind of cordon off the car area. They're going to try to pressure it a little bit. See just how far they can push it against the defense that is Astralis, and they're trying to pistol some stuff back down on them. There's not a whole lot there to show for it. Dupree with the swing of the shotgun is able to take out Jacob before he's traded on by Gratisfaction, and that shotgun kill from Dupree will help monetarily. But in the big picture of the round, it's 4 versus 4.
Yeah, that's a win for Renegades right there. Taking out Dupree that early spreads Astralis a little bit thin. You can see they have 3 people around this A bomb site, but if Renegades wraps on A, they're in quite a good position.
Ouch. Azur finding Device with the ump. And now things have come down into the hands of Magisk, Zipnix, and Glaive, and they're going to try to take these fights even though they're outgunned. And this could be deadly. They thought about maybe going through that arch, but instead they're going to go ahead and into the full wrap. But the peek there from Zipex could have been huge. Comes up a little short. And now the numbers game has gotten even more awkward. Azur being that last player to come through the arch is going to spot Glaive, and that bomb is just barely going to escape its way into the B bomb site from CT spawn. Azur trying to wait this one out, see if he can do something here to keep the fight in their favor, but with that bomb planted, Azur knows there's a player lingering around here in CT spawn. He's going to find him, but not the kill. Unfortunately for Azur, Glaive is the better. And with 3 HP, Gratisfaction cannot hold on to this bomb and the bomb site, and will fall in the first round on the board here for Astralis. Mind you, some SMG frags and even a shotgun kill from Dupree. We're going to have a different money game going into this next game, or round.
My goodness, Renegades played that round so well at so many different turns. Glaive, speaking of turning, just a quick 90-degree turn to take out Aza on the flank right there. You got to feel for Renegades. If they would have just kept wrapping on that A bomb site, they obviously had no idea how easy it would have been for them, but alas, here we stand, 1-1, Trace.
That is the story as it is told, Sean Gares. 1-1, AK, and M4s alongside of Zipex's op, Zipex, before all of Denmark tries to find me. Yeah, the boys, no weaponry at all. There's a couple upgraded pistols here, and that's going to be a Deagle and a P250. Gratisfaction with that Deagle. It's going to have to find something from a distance with it. And right now they're setting up in mid to perhaps take that fight, having been pushed off Banana. There is a smoke down there, and it's starting to fade, but this grenade's going to be pretty big, and a lot of damage done onto him as well.
I think we're going to see a lot of grenades like that in Banana throughout this match, Trace. Zipix and Glaive are kings of controlling that area, always peeking and prodding down, using their utility to perfection.
Well, there is only one king of Banana, and that's not even in play today. So, Glaive trying to swing here in middle, and he would have had quite the present for himself. Instead, he's setting up the bait there for Dupree. The Crossfire is in complete control of this mid-corridor, and Glaive is running around playing a different game than the rest of us. Jacob finding a kill with the Deagle, goes for the second. Can't seem to do it. Another round on the board for Astralis. And with that, we can begin to look at the monetary situation that is Renegades. Buy is in order. We're going to see some utility coming out as well. Now, if you're the Renegades, right, Sean? If you're the Renegades, you've got your buy here. This is what you've got to work with. You've got 5 AKs, a little bit of utility. What's the game plan? How do we approach this?
Trace, I feel like if I knew that answer, I'd be playing Counter-Strike and winning majors, because this CT side from Astralis is so hard to stop. They got to feel out this 3-man banana push and likely make plays towards the A bomb site. They threw a counter smoke towards the car, but Katowice getting an opening kill at the bomb site with only 2 players. That's going to really confuse Renegades this round.
Yeah, that's a rough one to swallow, especially Zipex playing real dirty there on the other side of the smoke. Does, in fact, take down Azur, and now we have 3 members of Renegades alive, Gratisfaction, Jacob, and JKS. With a little bit of utility and AKs that they do have, they're going to try to get something going here as best as possible, but Device with the angle and the shot on the Jacob finds another one on the JKS, and should he find the last one on the Gratisfaction, they'll give him the 3. But Dupree, instead, will be marching through the smoke triumphantly and putting a 3rd round on the board for Astralis.
The first gun round of Renegades, we don't see them deal a single point of damage. Device just dominating that middle. I don't even know if a single Renegades player, I guess Jacob technically stepped foot in the bracket area, but not for long before Device put him down. Not much map control taken there out of Renegades.
Yeah. And a property battle does ensue, as the Renegades do have a significantly lesser buy, significantly less equipment and weapons to work with here. And, well, Device is going to go ahead and eat Gratisfaction's lunch for what it's worth. He didn't last long in this round. And as to be expected, Magisk with a little bit of a push down here on Banana. They're going to flash him through, and he's going to go all the way in. Start mopping him up one by one. Takes down Liaz. Jacob goes for Azur, gets him as well. And again, Dupree is there to end out the round. And we do see a couple of shots there towards the ground. Don't think it's any sort of BM, but...
No, but this is something Astralis does a lot of when you watch them play. When they feel the eco is there, they're not afraid to just disrespect you. And the reason for that is because they know that's going to slow you down to such a terrible pace on future gun rounds, and that's how they control you with utility.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get when you play Astralis.
And they basically cordoned it so that you have to sit there and wait out the smokes, which is something that Inferno is notorious for throughout every iteration of it, and they're playing it completely to their advantage. Device now set up in the halls with this AWP, and Renegades there in alternate mid. So
looks like we're going to have a mid pop. They're willing to go through the smoke.
Yeah, that grenade's going to hit him just a little bit, but the mid-pop is there, and oh my goodness, the timing for Dupree is just not. He does get flashed off, and he tries to throw a counter-flash there towards the arc side, and actually gets caught out in the open. The trades are now coming in, and a massive shot there by Liaz, take down Magisk. And what has been a trade of affairs here over towards the A site. They have elected to stick around, and the rotation from the B players is on. Device in this pit with the AWP. He's going to have his first shot off on the player coming out of halls. Actually has now let his position be known. And has taken quite a bit of damage on a real awkward exchange in the pit. Azure coming out on top. And now with the bomb planted, it's up to Zipex and Glaive to get back in this bomb site. It's going to pick up that Molotov. He does have a smoke, but JKS does have the angle. Zipex with not much to work with here, nor HP. I don't see a world where he goes for this, and, well, for the rest of the Renegades, they've got to start to back out. He's going to cause a little bit of damage on his way out of the door, but that's a second one on the board for the Renegades.
I love the approach coming out of Renegades right there, showing that they're not willing to just respect the smoke grenades of Astralis early in this match. Astralis no longer can cheat people around the map and feel confident about it because now Renegades is willing to, you know, take those risks.
Indeed. And for the second one on the board on the Renegades, it's going to be a struggle to keep putting them on top of that. But at least now they have some weapons to do so. Again, no money problems on the side of Astralis, and the AWP in the hands of Device. Glaive going with the double nade call down middle. Doesn't quite net the success that they wanted. But a ton of utility being used here towards this B side. We already see 2 Molotovs used up.
Not much damage, though.
Yeah, not much damage at all by all the utility used here by Astralis. And, well, now Renegades can find themselves a little bit of map control. They can find a pacing that they can have a chance to work with rather than being bottlenecked there on the ramp.
Yeah, I would say this is a huge win for Renegades, taking banana control with a... oh, no.
Dun-dun. It's Glaive. Burning Gratisfaction alive. He was doomed nonetheless, and that's going to be the pick there for Astralis. These Molotovs are now really posing a problem. Azure taking a ton of damage there, down to 35 HP, has elected to pick up the AWP. And who was being challenged by Zipex is going to go ahead and fall, but should Azure keep playing with fire, he's going to get burned here by Device. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, appears though Glaive is going to get into the fight himself. That map control has diminished and is ultimately gone now as the Renegades try to lasso this one back into order, walking right into what would have been a great crossfire. However, Glaive not smoked off. Oh, take it all back. He was smoked off.
Glaive dominating that arch side on the rotate, re-smoking so that way the T's can't take it. Oh my goodness. I love the approach coming out of Renegades. I have to give them credit. But Astralis' utility usage at that top banana position just too strong. Forces Gratisfaction out, ends up burning in the flames.
And for a guy with the flu, that's an excellent smile. About 9 out of 10. Nonetheless, here it does look like we have yet another problem in terms of the money department for the Renegades. They're going to go with what they can. A couple CZs, a couple Deagles, and an ump. And utility purchase here. Trying to net something out of this round. I don't think they're going to be trying to contest B too much, and they really can't with the amount of pressure that Astralis is electing to put on them over there.
No, yeah, this is yet another round where Renegades gives up banana control. The last round was one of the first rounds we saw them fight for, and they were very successful, quite honestly. Here they go back to this A hit, and I think they're, based on the guys staying bottom banana like this, they might try to split into spawn.
Again, well, I mean, it had worked for them in that opening round. They're going to run right into Zipex here, finds 1, 2, can grab a third. They're going to try to pick him, and he does indeed. Tries to pull out that Deagle, can't seem to do it for the 4th. JKS is eliminated not long after that. Liaz left all on his lonesome, having worked all the way up banana, and almost in vain, considering the bomb is down there towards the arch side. He knows that there's a player lingering around over here at B. And, well, not a betting man, but if I were, I would say that the odds are highly stacked against this young man here.
I'm not even sure if he could run and grab the bomb and get back, Trace, so I'm going to go ahead and side with you on this one.
That's right. And you can side with another round of Astralis on the board. Now bringing it 6-2. The show of force is currently on full display here. We're not at an air show, but Astralis to the stars. Look at that. And it's just, he knows it too. He almost gets the eagle out to finish off the deal. But
Almost had that last kill.
almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, so I've been told. But, you know, sometimes people make things up. Sometimes people fib about things. Mid-aggression here from Dupree. He's had enough, and for what it's worth, he's going to run into Renegades that have 0 armor, 0 weaponry, 0 utility. It's just a matter of time. Now, they have found a kill on a Magisk, so it's not bad, all things considered, but the money is stacked too high for it to really even come into a factor here, and they're just going to get cleaned up on their own ramp. Now, this is a strange situation. They've already pushed down Banana, and I think they now know that Jacob is just hanging around on the ramp. 7 on the board for the Astralis side, and things are starting to appear back in order with the simulation.
And this is exactly what I was referring to earlier, where if Astralis knows that you're ecoing, they're willing to make those risky plays. They're willing to push down mid, push down Banana aggressively, take fights in T-spawn, take fights in ult mid, in the apps. They're willing to lose that one person for the sake of the plot of them bogging you down the next round.
Yeah, and it's basically an uphill battle no matter what here for the Renegades. If you just look at the economy over on Astralis, it's pretty disgusting to try to mount something against that when you're barely scraping together buys every round, when you're barely getting anything even remotely close to be considered map control.
They've got stacks on deck for days, Trace.
Stacks on deck, but it would appear as though the war drums getting banged away over there by Astralis, much of Travis Barker beating them out. And now they have elected to go with a buy. So that little bit of utility is going to have to do something here. It's going to have to slow down this Astralis snowball. Started the round out with 3 CT players over there towards the B site, but they're going to go ahead and flex that one player back. It's going to be Glaive on the rotation. Just going to leave Dupree and Magisk as the points of contact over here. Dupree about to get nasty with it, and by that I mean he's going to be eradicated. The spam from Glaive, though, will prove to be disastrous as they walk right into a grenade from Magisk. This is all falling apart at the seams, and Azur can't seem to put it all back together. He's trying to do something. And whether JKS gets that frag or not on Zypex, there is nothing that can be put together there at the end of that round, Sean.
It's so incredible because when you watch other teams play, they might do a play exactly like what Dupree just did, right? Going into Boiler, seeing 3 people and dying. But the teamwork layers after that where, you know, Glaive is just spraying through the smoke, Magisk instantly nades and gets 2 more. It's just, there's so many layers to what they do that it almost feels like once you get a frag, you never feel comfortable progressing onto the site afterwards.
It's just not going well for the boys from down under. They're being beaten back all the way down to T-ramp, and at this juncture, well, the pistols they have might as well be slingshots versus catapults here. You like that one, Sean?
I love that. Cool, put that in my back pocket.
Nice. Make sure you put me on any socials you use that on. Go ahead.
Nah.
Nah is exactly what Device has said. He has taken out 1 in this round and put a considerable hurt onto Gratis faction in the meantime. And I'm not really sure what to make out of there. That all makes sense now. The crossfire here in middle is proving to be that of a fatal funnel. However, Azur with this little slide out there does take down Zypex. And Glaive all the way down now will have the upper hand. And you've got to get Azur here to make a play. You've got to get him in the round somehow if you're a Renegade.
He is on quite a good lurk right now, but Dupree getting tons of information at top mid.
That doesn't help. JKS falling to Dupree. They're in the halls, and Azur posted up in the library. I don't think that they know he's there. I guess there is a chance that they just saw him, but it doesn't appear as though. I mean, they're not really reacting to it. And again, some smokes come out here late in the round. Astralis really pressuring you to come through here and fight 101. And in that moment, the 101 was not exchanged in their favor. Azur finding one, but does he know this second player's here? With the frag, almost grabs it.
Oof.
Dupree on 34 HP closes out the round, and this one's slipping away fast and furiously there for Astralis. 9-2 currently.
Device and Dupree getting all 5 frags that round. The double D's looking too big for Renegades to handle.
Man. Well, if you're feeling the Renegades today, they could use all of your power. They could use all of your energy, because now they're going to have to face Device, who has found himself stuck off in a Molotov here. Now, this is where Astralis playing 3 towards B early in the round will certainly help them out. They have a 5-man presence here for the Renegades. They need to find a way through the smoke, but Glaive finding a kill through it will not help the cause whatsoever. Zipex pushing through as well. They're going to take this fight to him in car. They're not going to go down without one. Jacob, though, doing something in this round in the favor of Renegades.
Again, I really like how Renegades put so much pressure on this banana. But it's so black and white when they opt to take it. It's either all or nothing.
Yeah. It's not really a wave thing, but then again, Astralis isn't really giving them the chance to set up for waves. You know, the way they're using their utility, they're pretty much, you either fight us head on, or we're going to make you battle out for the entirety of the round. Which now, it looks like the Renegades probably going to walk into that op of Device should they elect to go this direction. However, Azar and JKS going to go ahead and flex back. Playing around in the apartments. Going to try to make some presence on the other side of the map. They do have the defense of Astralis split between the 2 sites.
It looks like these players going back towards middle might just be trying to draw a rotate. I can't really see much of a reason otherwise. So they're trying to grab Glaive to come back towards the arch and then end up hitting the B site, but it's just not working.
It's not working at all, and I'm pretty sure Astralis knows it. They've got their spidey senses tingling, and with the timer ticking down, there's only one place they can be, right here on the B site. The frags are being exchanged, but the time is also dwindling. They would have to have gotten the bomb plant now, and unless they start eradicating these enemies, nothing will be happening there, and they just drug the clock out too long, Sean.
Yeah, they had Astralis right where they want them. They had them 2A, 2B setup. It's probably the worst spot to be in, actually, as CTs. Either site would have been fine for Renegades to hit right there, but they just didn't leave enough time on the clock.
Yeah. They are going to go ahead and buy up what they can here. Astralis round up into double digits, 10-2 now. So we get into the 13th round of the first half of, yes, a best of 3 that Renegades have won a map on against Astralis. I think Chad sat on the desk, and I think he's certainly right. They've exceeded all expectations to this point. The Renegades definitely making a stand here in Katowice.
And we cannot write them off on this map. The first map they won, they were down 12-3.
That's right. Bounce back, and that was Mirage. Here in Inferno, the storylines could play out similarly, so make sure you don't go anywhere. Renegades trying to go somewhere, though, and they're going to try to go towards this A site. This peek by Device will prove to be just fatal for that of JKS, and another one for him. He's going to take Liaz down as well. Gratisfaction by himself. 1 minute left. Does have the AWP and bomb, but against 4 members of Astralis, well, with all the wishes in the world. The no-scopes, though, didn't count for those. Did take down Device. Very well done. But again, not really much that he can hope to put into action here.
No, he finds himself in a very tough position. Won't even be able to take that AWP into the next round.
Yeah. They punish him there in the boiler room. Astralis reigning supreme thus far, 11-2.
If you're Renegades right now, you don't even know.
You don't have an answer.
Play is. Yeah, you don't know what the play is. You've tried jumping through the mid smoke. You've tried going banana. I guess the one thing they haven't really tried is a Halls pop, but Matt just does such a good job of using his utility that you don't even feel like it's an option.
Well, that supporting element coming up mid, I mean, they're being beaten down onto the ramp from B, and peeking middle is most likely out of the cards, right? So either way, this round not having desirable weaponry. In fact, 3 Deagles and 2 CZs, but with this utility, perhaps they have something in mind. Perhaps there is a longer-term play here as to what they can put together and string together going into this round.
They do have 3 smoke grenades. And he can do a lot of different things with those. They can do a B execute. They could smoke the back wall of A side along with pit smokes. Looks like they're opting to take banana right now. Katowice, more of the same. Ouch from him.
Yeah, running into that op is not going to really help, to say the very least. Gratisfaction out of the round now, and the 4 remaining Renegades have a very, very, very big fence in front of them to try to hop over. On the other side, Mr. Feeney. And that would be Glaive here. They don't know. They're probably going to check this, but JKS, it's not really going to hit out. I hate to say it. The spray down is there. Glaive finding 2. Looking to find the other 2, and in a weird way, there's a kill from midair. Deagle shot by Jacob. Also a 1D, so don't hang your hats just yet. But the boys running this op, and a very, very fast flick there from Device, ending the hopes and dreams of the Renegades. 12-2. And that is a tough pickle.
It is. Jacob had some incredible shots to put Renegades into that round. And you felt for a second there was a chance. And then this flicky boy shows up.
He's got this guy. He's got this AWP. These flick things. Also, his teammates really good. So, what is your answer, Renegades? That is what you have to be searching for. Start in the soul. As the search for an answer to Astralis' CT side has remained unanswered thus far. 12-2 going into this last round. It's going to be a all-in purchase for the Renegades. Not a single member over 7 frags, and ADR also below 60 for just about everybody. So, not really putting the damage down range either at this point. And you hate to be bleak, you hate to be, dismal about it, but it's kind of a bitter pill to swallow right here. They are getting pushed around on their T side by Astralis.
They have been a CT team throughout this entire event, though, so I don't want to write them off yet. I know the score seems lopsided, but we've seen Renegades make these comebacks already.
We do know what they're capable of, and they have already taken a map from Astralis. Very tall feet, nonetheless. Now they want to take this fight here in Banana again. They feel like they might have a better shot with some weaponry and utility, but they're going to elect to give it up, fall back, and it looks like they're going to have an A hit this time. Now, Sean, you did say that we hadn't seen this up to this point. We hadn't seen any sort of hall pop or any sort of aggression at that capacity over to the A side. Perhaps this is the round they can get something going.
Unfortunately, though, Astralis is reading this so well because they have banana control. And if you look, there's 2 people on that arch side, 2 people holding the opposite side. Device getting so aggressive, and he's going to get this. The bomb's down top, mid. All of the info is in Astralis' hands.
Yeah, just trying to hold it together, and they can't seem to do that. Azar, 1 kill might have made him feel better, but in fact, at the end of the half, it's 13-2 for Astralis. So we look into the second half of Inferno here. We're going to go to a quick break. Make sure that you're with us when we come back, because the boys might just run it all the way there. We'll be right back. Well, it's 4 degrees Celsius here, or 40 Fahrenheit if you happen to be the American type, but for the Renegades, it's much chillier than that. As they look into the second half, 13-2 is quite the story and quite the scoreline to bounce back, nonetheless, against Astralis, the powerhouse that they are. And it's all going to come down to this pistol round, I fear. My name is Trey Senasaranthus. I'm here with Sean Gares, and this has already been an up-and-down battle. And we've seen this one go all 3 maps.
We saw Renegades come back from that 12-3 deficit on Mirage to open the series. They're going to have to do better here.
They're going to have to start it with this pistol round, and that's not going to help. Gratisfaction taking 90 damage there, and he's going to have to fall off. He doesn't want to be out of the round this early on.
Astralis is going with Renegades is going with the blind stack into the B bomb site. No info.
Yes, they are, and maybe this will pan out. They do have 3 members of Astralis pushing their way up right now, making a ton of noise. Perhaps as they start to fade away quietly, this could be all part of the plan. The master plan, that is, to transition back and traverse back to that mid area and walk right up on the A site. And that is indeed on the cards. Now these 3 members up at the Renegades are going to have to figure this one out sooner rather than later. They did hear all the noise, but
we have 2 smokes on Astralis right now. One is definitely going to be going to the back of the site if they hit this A bomb site. Yep. It looks like Glaive is potentially going to use his elsewhere.
I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, we see the flash from Glaive. No, he's going to smoke.
There's the back site smoke right there, and a flash is coming out, and a smoke on Balk, so that way they can actually get out.
Now, mind you, they have that Molotov, so they're going to be able to clear out the pit here, and that's Liaz looking to hold it together, can't do that. Magisk and Zipnik has come up on top, and it's now down to the 3 members of the Renegades, and Azur, Jacob, and JKS to retake this bomb site, but it doesn't appear as though they're going to go for it at all. Having situated and posted up in that B bomb site the entirety of the round, they're going to concede it, and that's going to be 14 on the board for Astralis. Not the start you were hoping for if you're a Renegades fan.
Yeah, what a brutal pistol round coming out of Astralis right there. 2 players in the A bomb site, one of which you did 90 damage to, and you're in the pit unimpeded. There's no way that Renegades was going to win that round based on the call out of Astralis.
Yeah, and I mean, the form that Astralis has right now, should they have even put 3 over there today, it's hard to say that it would have gone much differently, and they didn't even have to really show too much face there. Again, round going to Astralis, 14. 16 being that magical number, and 2 on the side of the Renegades. If you're just joining us, well, you're a little late to the party, but again, it is very important that we note that the Renegades have bounced back already in this series once, Sean.
They have, and they're extremely dangerous on these second rounds. We saw them actually defeat Ents in several of these throughout the multiple times they've played them at this major. And they obviously are going to have to force up here. They're going to be tons of smokes across the map. I'm really interested to see how Astralis deals with this, because this is the same type of Counter-Strike that they play on the CT side.
Which is reasonable too, right? I mean, you think about how top dog Astralis has been this entire time, for as long back as Marseille. I mean, they've been studied by everyone, and I mean everyone.
Yeah, and they still managed to innovate and come up with new ways to dominate all of the top teams.
Which is scary indeed, as we do get deeper into the legend stage here, the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice Major. This is a 2-0 match, and a very, very important one at that. This will put Astralis, or the Renegades, should they come back, up to 3-0. And that is the big magic number for the Swiss system. But as it stands, Jacob with that aggression there, down Banana, is not going to prove to bring anything forward for the Renegades. In fact, if anything, he may have set this up in a way that they don't know that there's 2 players here. These smokes maybe going to hold off Astralis just a little bit. They don't necessarily need to go through it with the quickness. And they don't seem to want to either.
They don't. They have these 2 HE grenades, and they dump them both to the coffin position. One of the Renegades is there. That is their last smoke at Banana. And you can see Az is just holding it all by himself. Astralis spreading out now, going back towards the A bomb site.
Yeah, there's going to have to be some huge individual plays here from the side of Renegades. The other domination of Astralis is at hand, and they seemingly have not found an answer just yet. 40 seconds on the clock. Could be Azure that finds that first contact. He does catch a device out in the open. Puts him down a considerable amount of damage, but ultimately does not win the skirmish. Gratisfaction getting one on the other side of the map. And now what is a fight for the boiler room control has gone in the way of Astralis. They start working their way up there towards that porch, taking the A site, having a casualty in Dupree in the meantime. And that bomb will be planted there in a pretty safe location by Magisk. Now, important note here, Sean. The two AKs, as well as the Galil over on Astralis, you have to mention the fact that they are low. So there is a chance, but it would really take something here. And Device is going to find himself in a really, really advantageous position. The real thorn in the side and the timing, it just works out impeccably. You couldn't even script it if you tried. Device finding the two there under the porch. And that is not a good look from the Renegades.
And that is such a veteran play coming out of Device. Playing the sound, waiting for his teammates to make contact. And then he gets on that flank, gets 2 frags with 21 HP to shove Renegades out of the round. Heartbreaking way to lose that round if you're Renegades.
And you do hate to see it. You do hate to see that the Renegades are unable to field an answer in this situation. And going up 15-2 now, Astralis on the cusp of taking this entire series and moving forward 3-0 in the Legend stage. Has not been a pretty one here for the Renegades on Inferno. In fact, much of that momentum has dwindled and fallen off at this point. So they've got to buy up what they can into this round, Sean, and I guess pray to whoever they can.
Yeah, with Astralis rattling off 11 straight rounds at this point.
Yikes.
It's not looking good if you're Renegades.
No, it's not. Not to mention the fact that the 5 AKs here on Astralis, they can pretty much dictate how they want to approach this. They can pretty much do whatever it is they would like to do. And at least Liaz has something to say about that, but Dupree has even bigger words to exchange, finding the 2 kills there on Liaz and Gratisfaction. Now, as they're kind of postured over here towards the B side, they don't have the bomb, but they do have all the frags necessary. Jacob and JKS, the only thing standing between Astralis and a map victory. Jacob with the shotgun frag. Does bring him down to 22 HP, and the bomb is going to be working its way up to A now. They're going to have to leave a play over here at B. They don't really have a choice.
But Dupree is in the pit. The bomb is coming up mid.
Nah.
They knew that both players would be at B once the Mag 7 comes through the smoke. I do not see a way that Renegades can retake this bomb site, but they have to try, Trace.
So you're telling me that there's a chance, but ultimately the House of Cards has fallen. And it's all going to fall down to this. JKS and Jacob have to go for the retake here. There is no letting off the gas. This is, in fact, match point. And Jacob's not going to last long to fight himself. Going to the frag. JKS finding one. Not enough. And Astralis have done it here. 3-0 through the Legend stage, as predicted, as put on through the simulation. And what was a scare in the first map? Well, that